The camera spotted you. They must have been looking out for you. You'll have to take it out.
I know. Here comes trouble.
I am the Rocket, and you're watching WGS-TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on youtube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux, being joined by the host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, which can be heard every Wednesday night on blogtalkradio.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. It's the Illuminous one, the shining star, Rick Starr. Rick, how's it shining tonight?
It's shining pretty good, Billy. Thanks for having me.
Through debt, he controls everything.
We're going to go ahead and talk about Monday Night Raw for the week of March 18th, 2013. We open up with John Cena coming out. Now, to me, this is a new shirt because I didn't see John Cena's tout from last week when he debuted his new shirt. It's basically the same black shirt, you know, like you've seen before, you know, celebrating the 10 years long. But instead of it being black, it is yellow. So it's a very interesting color for them to go from black to yellow on that shirt. But it was still a very interesting thing to see. Now he's coming out. He starts to cut a promo about his WWE Championship match at WrestleMania, saying that, you know, his time is now. You know, and you know, he had a message for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and his fans. When he gets interrupted by the primetime players, where you had Titus O'Neil dressed up as what he said, and I'm reading off my notes. I hope I'm reading this correctly. Rufus Pancake Patterson, claiming to be the uncle of Darren Young, and he started cutting a promo on the fact that the fans did not want to see John Cena at WrestleMania. They wanted to see the primetime players at the WrestleMania, and Cena said, you know what, if you want to prove that you're ready for WrestleMania, come in this ring and face me now. And that's what led to our opening match, which basically pretty much went this way, guys and gals. If you did not have the WWE Active app on your phone or tablet or whatever device that it comes with, you were pretty much screwed, in a sense. You were pretty much screwed because, you know, the matchup starts, and then it cuts the commercial break, and then when it comes back, I'm going to say about a minute or two later, we see the attitude adjustment. John Cena delivers to Darren Young, and Darren Young is defeated. My head hurts just thinking about that. It really seriously does. I don't know what else to think about that except why. And I know there are better ways to open up Monday Night Raw, but then you had Titus O'Neil as Rufus Pancake Patterson. You know, one thing I will give them this, though, Rick, is they finally acknowledge what we, the fans, have been saying about Darren Young all along. You know, he's the Black John Cena.
Yeah, you know, I think that they're starting to listen to the fans, and if they're going to do that, then, you know, it's going to be happening pretty soon.
Yeah.
That Ryback's going to be Ryback's the next Goldberg.
Yeah, 3.5 out of 5. And speaking of Mr. Ryback, Rick, he was up in match number 2 on Monday Night Raw. Talk about his matchup and what happened.
Well, you know, unfortunately, this was pretty much a squash match with David Otunga. David Otunga, who, you know, was in the movie with, in The Call. That was his, you know, movie. There's been a couple of WWE movies coming out, but, that, you know, anyways, he didn't get his calling. He got knocked out in a few seconds, and after that, he's, you know, Otunga picks up his the mic and says that he's gonna be in a six-man tag match. There it is, against the Shield. But he goes, I'm gonna be facing you, Mark Henry, somewhere down the line, and we're gonna be facing. And before he can even put his mic down, what happens? Mark Henry comes down. He's gonna get ready to face him, but no, Vicky and
Teddy Long.
Teddy Long, thank you. Both are about to say, oh, no, stop. You know, not tonight. We can't do this. We can't do this. Well, Vicky tells Ryback, I'm gonna pull you right out of that match. You know what? Now you're gonna face Mark Henry at WrestleMania. And well, you know, we talked about this earlier today, Bill, and we're not too surprised about this, are we?
No. When we did earlier today attempt to record a preview of Monday Night Raw, but thanks to Pinnacle screwing it up, we couldn't get it out there. We do apologize to you guys out there for that. I know you guys really wanted to hear our thoughts about what we might see on Monday Night Raw tonight, and one of the things we did talk about was the way for Ryback and Mark Henry to come about, and they really did it tonight. I will say this though, I love the fact that they used Teddy Long in that video, in that part of the segment instead of Brad Maddox, because you know in Brad Maddox he was gonna fuck it up in some way or some form. And your score for the match and the segment after?
3 out of 5.
Now, next up, we were again scheduled to have the Great Khali and Fandango. And now Fandango, we finally had like an over-the-top entrance. You know, not only did he have the little dance floor, but he also had the big fancy curtains out there. And he actually had over-the-top pyro that we've seen normally from guys like Psycho Sid and the Ultimate Warrior. Now, out comes the Great Khali, but it just harkens back to the exact same thing we've been seeing, I want to say about 3 or 4 weeks straight out of the Fandango gimmick. And it was something we talked about it on the attempted preview about what was going to happen, and it exactly went that way. But instead of having Great Khali say it, he kind of made an advance towards Natalya, saying, Natalya, don't be afraid of all this masculinity. There ain't nothing masculine about the Fandango gimmick. I'm going to say that right now. You'll never see my big fat ass up there trying to dance like that, I promise you. They've outlawed dancing for guys like me, I promise you. I accidentally hurt somebody. No, I didn't. I'm just saying that. Anyway, Natalya pretends to go say it, and she goes, "Fan, dang, go get him, Khali!" And Khali attempts to get his hands on Fandango, and Fandango makes a quick exit. And again, we go back to, you didn't say my name right. I'm not gonna wrestle you tonight. So, an over-the-top entrance with ring pyro and everything. And again, they just go back to the same damn thing with Fandildo. It just really, really boggles my mind that they went through so much trouble for the Fandango gimmick just to go and do the same damn thing we've seen for about 4 weeks straight from Fandango. The same damn thing. And to me, it just boggles my mind. While tonight, you make it look like a grand entrance, the grand debut, the premiere of Fandango, and you do absolutely bupkis. I was going to say another word, but I kind of censored myself on that one, Rick.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to just say something real quick, and I'm not saying that this guy's the same thing, but I remember one other person for several weeks used to just do nothing but say the same thing over and over again and didn't wrestle. Can you remember who he was? He did nothing but all we did is talk. We were like, oh man, with this guy, just shut up. And we didn't think he would ever become anything. And like if you hint, he's now Mr. Money in the Bank.
Dolph Ziggler?
Remember? He used to be in the back. He used to go, "Hi, I'm Dolph Ziggler."
Oh yeah.
And we never thought he would get. At least I didn't think he would go anywhere at that time. I'm like, this guy's a moron. Every week he would say, "Hi, I'm Dolph Ziggler." Hi, and it was week in and week out. Now, and then even for a while when he was hanging around with Vicky Guerrero, we didn't think he'd get that much. And then all of a sudden, he started working like week in and week out, pay-per-view after pay-per-view, and he really, in 2011, 2012, he started gaining our respect, at least my respect. And I could say now he's probably one of the hottest workers in the WWE.
I have to go ahead.
Oh, so now this guy, I'm not saying that this guy, he has a lot of respect to earn before he gets to where Dolph Ziggler is. So, but I'd like to see, I'd like to see what he can do in the ring. So,
I have to give the segment with Fandango and Great Khali a 2 out of 5. I mean, if that's the kind of entrances we can expect with Fandango, I like it. It fits the gimmick. It fits the kind of character he is. But the fact of the matter is that we went and it boiled down to you're not saying my name right, I'm not going to wrestle. And it's just getting really, really out there and boring. Next up, Rick, we had R-Truth taking on one half of Team Rhodes Scholars and Damian Sandow.
Yeah, this wasn't a bad match. Unfortunately, it was just the way the match ended. Damian Sandow was kind of controlling the match for a little bit, and then R-Truth really started picking up and having good control. And then Damian Sandow just, for some, some reason or another, just said, nope, I've had enough of this match, and walked out and left. Just said, nope, I don't want to be pinned, which is kind of a signature for him. And walked out and left. Got the 10 count out. I really don't know what the story is, why WWE seems to have heels do that. I'm gonna give it another 3 out of 5. Nothing really spectacular in this match.
After rewatching, next up we had The Undertaker come out. The Undertaker saying like what CM Punk did last week, sealed his fate. And there's only one thing that could save him, and that is if CM Punk returns the urn. Next thing you know, we kind of hear someone mocking Paul Bearer's voice, that, oh, yes, Undertaker. The Titantron comes on, and it's CM Punk kind of mocking a voice and using the urn as a puppet. And a very interesting, kind of segment with CM Punk. Rick, I got to ask you, your reactions to some of the things that CM Punk said. He said that, he doesn't need powers like The Undertaker does, and the fact that CM Punk doesn't answer to a higher power, that the fact that he is a higher power.
Well, that's just the Punk's character as to how he's always been. He's always tried to be, he just, that's the heel character that he is. He's just getting under people's skin, and he definitely got a little. I think he got cut under the Undertaker's skin. He's like he's tossing around the urn like it's a ball. He even dropped the ball for a second. I believe that we were talking to our good friend Studley Man. Ashley said that when he dropped the ball, someone, I guess he got reports that the Undertaker was chuckling, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what he told us? Yeah,
and that might have been the reason why after the reaction to that drop it, that Undertaker's head was down with the cloak on. He might have been giggling for all we know. And I will say this: it was a little entertaining skit from CM Punk. You can't expect anything less than the best from CM Punk, no matter what kind of a promo it was. And this one was actually very, very good. 4 out of 5. For me. But next up, Rick, we had The Undertaker's brother in Team Hell No taking on Epico and Primo, and the only highlight that actually makes them worth watching on WWE programming in Rosa Mendez.
Yeah. This was, no big question as to who won this match. Unfortunately, Epico and Primo, they just can't seem to get it together for some reason. They're just, when it comes to the tag team division, they just seem to be at the bottom of the barrel.
And they used to be at the top.
Yeah. I think the only people who are beneath them is probably the Usos. And for those of you who don't know the joke on that one, I won't tell you. I won't tell you. You'll just have to go check my Facebook page, Hardcore Wrestling Radio plug. Anyways. But, the Team Hell No, they basically got the win again. Nothing phenomenal about this match. It was an okay match. I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5 because it seemed like they were just going through the motions.
You know what, Rick? I'm going to let you take this next segment, which you dubbed to be one of the funniest segments out of Monday Night Raw tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, Chris Jericho, he's out there. He's going to cut a promo about the Intercontinental title. When he gets interrupted by somebody, who did he get interrupted by?
Fandango. And Chris Jericho he just looks at him, and he just, with that dumbfounded look, Chris Jericho is just trying to look at him seriously with an idiotic look, and goes, he goes, who are you? And Chris, he goes, maybe you can pronounce my name. And go, Fandango. And Jericho goes, Fandumbo. And he goes,
Dunghole.
Fandango, and he went through all the other ones, and he goes,
Well,
and Geo and Bingo was his name. Oh, and
Fandango, Fandango.
yes, okay, I didn't remember the whole segment from back to front. Sorry, people. Not my, not one of my better talents, Billy. But anyway, I was just busting a nut laughing on this one, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry. My trousers are still a little bit dry and sticky. Anyways, but I'm telling you, and you could tell that he was just, Fandango was just so truly offended, walks away, and he's like, wait a minute, hold on. I want you to buy me some movie tickets. Get me 2 for Dead Man Down. And he just keeps on going. Now, the rumor is that these two are going to be facing each other at WrestleMania. The reason why, of course, is if you don't know, Chris Jericho was in Dancing with the Stars a couple of years back. So
Nearly made it all the way, if I recollect correct.
no, he did not. He
did?
was like eliminated 7th in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, a very hilarious segment with Jericho and Fandango. But
yeah, if I have to give it a rank, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. It was just
yeah, I agree. Next up, we had the World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio taking on Cody Rhodes in a very good matchup. The finish of the match came with Del Rio slapping on the cross arm breaker. But the reason why I'm skipping through a lot of the details of the match is because of all the post-match activity that took place after the matchup was over. Jack Swagger ambushed Alberto Del Rio and started beating him down. Ricardo Rodriguez comes in to try to make the save and ends up getting thrown out of the ring for his troubles. And next thing you know, the fight spills onto the outside. And at one point, Swagger was down. Del Rio was kind of dominating the fight, and then turns his eyes towards Zeb Coulter. And, it was just one of those typical heels, what the heel manager does. He, distracts the face long enough for the heel wrestler to get back up and take advantage and attack the face. And that's exactly what happened. Swagger jumped Alberto Del Rio, tossed him over the announce table, knocking him out for a couple of minutes, and then they turned their attentions towards Ricardo Rodriguez, and he clotheslines him and then puts the Patriot lock on Ricardo Rodriguez, supposedly, and I say that in quotation marks, breaking his ankle. And Rick, I know you got a little bit of a foobar about that.
Yeah. For those of you who watched it, I mean, when he first sold it, he was like, young. He did sell it very well, but the medics who came down and tried to help him really foobarred the segment up, because medics were coming down and putting pressure on his quote unquote broken leg or broken ankle. Now, anybody who knows that when you have a broken ankle, the one thing you don't do is put pressure on that one piece, on your pressure, on the pressure on the broken piece, on your broken bone, because you'll be screaming even worse than he is. And he wasn't screaming as loud as he was afterwards. He was like, "Oh, it just hurts, it hurts." He was no. You just don't. If you even touch it with on the wrong thing, and the guy was just leaning on it with his forearm and putting his body part, forget it. It's just not gonna happen. I'm gonna give it for a second.
I'm going to give the whole match and the post-match activity a 4 out of 5. I thought it was very entertaining. And I also like the fact they're actually doing more build and more stuff with Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger than they're doing with John Cena and The Rock. But then again, that's probably to be expected. Next up, Rick, we had a tag team match between Randy Orton and Sheamus and 3MB. Talk about what happened and the post-match activity with that.
That was actually, another squash match. The squash match, 3MB. What did you expect? Nothing serious. So of course, who's getting ready to come down during the match? But the Shield. So it's Randy Orton and Sheamus is in the middle of the ring. Sheamus, and of course, who comes out to help them out? The Big Show. Now, if anybody who watched the SmackDown, the Big Show offered their services, and he kind of got casted up because he was still the heel turning face, so they kind of didn't trust him, so to speak. And I think this is where he kind of came out and earned their trust at that point. So now you can know that, for the most part, he's kind of came to the rescue to help out, and I think we can now know that he's going to be that third person for their team. Wouldn't you agree?
Definitely, definitely. We even talked about it again on our attempt at a Raw preview that they had to do something to put the Big Show in. I mean, it was quite evident that Ryback and Mark Henry were going to have a matchup, so they had to do something to kind of find a way to kind of insert Big Show into the six-man tag, and they did do that tonight. By the way, this is the fastest I've ever seen Big Show run, probably since someone screamed "Free lunch!" and Big Show just ran, and I will give it to them. Big Show did run pretty fast for a guy that's like 7'1", 440 pounds.
Yeah. The segment 3.5 out of 5. It was a good segment.
Dolph Ziggler, the show off, took on Kofi Kingston next in a very good match. They've had a very storied rivalry. At one time over the Intercontinental title, and then another time over the United States title, and those were two great matches. And these two work well together, and they did do that tonight in this matchup. We saw the typical interference by Biggie Langston when the referee was distracted. We saw that on the outside. Kofi was going for like a crossbody and then gets kind of like clotheslined in the legs or something by Biggie Langston. The way the camera angle was looking at it, it was very hard to tell what exactly Biggie did. But as soon as they got back in the ring, Ziggler hits the zigzag on Kofi Kingston and gets the victory. But main part is, again, so many things that we talked about it. I talked about this on the Friday Night SmackDown review on the episode of DMC Devil May Cry. And, we talked about it on the attempt at a preview of Monday Night Raw, the tag team title match. Team Hell No comes on the stage, challenges Biggie Langston and Dolph Ziggler to a matchup for their tag team titles. And AJ Lee said on behalf of them, we accept at WrestleMania. So the WrestleMania's undercard really forming together quite quickly over these past couple of weeks for the WWE. So we got a six-man tag now. We have a tag team title match now with Team Hell No taking on Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston. So it was just something that was really to be expected. I'm going to give the matchup with Ziggler and Kingston and the segment after it a 4 out of 5 because, for one thing, it's actually good. Because for one thing, we're going to guaranteed at WrestleMania, we're going to see the in-ring debut of Biggie Langston because I don't catch NXT. Rick, I don't think you catch NXT either. But from apparently other guys that watch him on NXT, they're very familiar with his work. But for us, this is a chance to actually see the in-ring debut of a Biggie Langston.
Yeah, I've only caught a few of his matches. I do try to watch NXT whenever I can. Whenever I do, again, not try to help plug the show to my Facebook page. I do post it on my Facebook page whenever I can. But yeah, he is a phenomenal wrestler. And I really would like to see when he starts wrestling full time.
Rick, the featured match of the night featured the Intercontinental Championship on the line as Wade Barrett, the champion, defended against Chris Jericho and The Miz. Talk about what happened.
Well, this was a great match for a feature match, and I'm going to tell you, there was a lot of near falls between these guys. Miz came very close to getting the win. He hit Jericho at the last few minutes. He hit him with the skull-crushing finale, but Wade Barrett, being the slide dog that he was, rolled in and rolled Miz up for the 3 count. Great match overall. I have to give it a 4 out of 5.
Rick, when you were first eyeballing this match, when they made the announcement last week leading up into tonight's match, who would you have put money on walking away the winner and the Intercontinental Champion out of this match?
You know what? I still would have given probably Wade the win, but the question is who is going to, who's going to be going with Wade into WrestleMania?
Yes,
because I think this is kind of like I think this is more like going to be a rubber band match.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. Your score?
I definitely have to give it. This will be a 4 out of 5 for me.
next up, the segment, the finale. Everybody wanted to see Triple H's response to Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar saying, you will only get the stipulations to the match after you sign our contract. So Triple H comes out and then starts to cut a little bit of promo about it, and then Paul Heyman comes out and with his own little security detail, which, by the way, even I could take on by just literally sitting on the people. Anyway, that kind of tells you they were really tiny. They start cutting a promo back and forth about Brock Lesnar and Triple H and some of the things and some of the stipulations that they could make. And Paul Heyman went towards the line of the winner would get your wife Stephanie McMahon, or to be fair, the loser would get your wife Stephanie McMahon. And that sent Triple H into a rage. Starts beating on Paul Heyman. Two of the security guys try to intervene, and then they got tossed out of nothing. The third security guy, who was checking on Paul Heyman, looked up, saw Triple H standing there, and probably made the smartest decision of his life and got the heck out of Dodge. And Paul Heyman got dragged onto the top of the table. Triple H started ripping off his shirt and just giving some big major chops on his chest, and then signs the contract. And we're thinking, Brock Lesnar came out soon after that, and we're all thinking, we probably won't hear what the stipulations were until possibly next week or sometime after that. And instead, we got it tonight. Now, the first stipulation, to me, was kind of expected and what a lot of people were thinking. No holds barred. Wouldn't you agree, Rick?
Yes, I'd have to agree. I was hoping for something a little bit more climactic,
but we did get that a little bit with the second stipulation that they added into that matchup, that Triple H's career is on the line. Now, we've seen Shawn Michaels' career end at a WrestleMania. Now we have the possibility of seeing Triple H's career end at a WrestleMania.
With all due respect, I find that very anticlimactic, and even the fans were like,
"Yeah,
that's it." I mean, come on. He's the CEO of the wrestling. I mean, his wife is the owner. He's gonna be running the company. It's not like he's really retiring from.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Rick. I mean, and the fact that we got very little to no reaction at all from the crowd kind of tells me one thing, one or two things. That one, like you said, it was very anticlimactic, or two, it was really pretty much kind of predictable and expected that they would probably go towards the career of Triple H.
I think the thing is that that's not what they wanted, because I think let's be realistic. As well as I do, they can say, okay, fine. Let's say it's hypothetically Triple H does lose and he has to quote unquote can never it's his career. We know that Triple H just disappears. I mean, how many times has Mr. McMahon had to be fired and he's still with the company?
Yeah.
Come on, it just doesn't happen. It's not gonna happen. That's why I know he's like, oh, that's it. You know what I mean? Not gonna happen.
I have to give the finale a 3.5 out of 5. It would have gotten a 4 out of 5, but when they added that second stipulation of Triple H's career being on the line, my only thoughts were, quote The Miz, really? Yeah. Really? Let's go to overall score and thoughts. Overall score on Monday Night Raw from me this week gets a 4 out of 5. John Cena defeating Darren Young. I'm still scratching my head over the promo and the introduction of the character Rufus Pancake Patterson. Ryback defeating David Otunga, pretty much a squash match, like Rick said. But the fact that they finally announced Ryback versus Mark Henry for WrestleMania, and kudos to WWE for not using Brad Maddox, because he would have screwed up. Excuse me, you would have screwed up that segment so badly. And I could tell you why. They even tried cutting a promo with him on the WWE app, and the dude was really. Now, I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but he was terrible on the mic. Now, I will give him his props on Friday Night SmackDown. He actually did improve a little bit on his color commentary on Friday Night SmackDown. You know, I probably should have given him his props there on the review, and I didn't. But I will say this though, Maddox was a little bit better on his commentary, Rick. I don't know if you would agree with that or not, but he did show a little bit of an improvement.
A little bit. I like I said, sometimes I'm wondering if he's being annoying intentionally, and that's kind of his character. So let's. That's why I'm kind of like I didn't want to give him props, but I'm not gonna give him shit either. So let's just see what he has to say in the next couple of weeks.
I really disagree with WWE doing an over-the-top entrance for Fandango when he was just gonna, when you know the segment's just gonna turn out to the exact same thing we've seen always. You know, Fandango getting upset for his name not being pronounced right, and he's not gonna wrestle. So they put all that time together to make a good set, a good entrance, good pyro, and shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Archer defeating Damian Sandow by countout. We've seen it time in and time out. Sandow chickening out of his match. Undertaker and CM Punk promo was epic. Team Hell No defeating Epico and Primo. I think the only thing, again, that's keeping Epico and Primo on TV is Rosa Mendez and her dancing hips. Christian, I have to agree with Rick. The funniest segment of the night was Chris Jericho and Fandango. Hands down, it was hilarious. It kind of leads us to believe that something might be happening with Jericho and Fandango, you know, in reference to, and no, that didn't get it wasn't a message from the Honors Raw General Manager, guys, if you guys wonder what that sound was. But, yeah, with reference to Chris Jericho being with Dancing with the Stars and Fandango gimmick basically around dancing. Alberto Del Rio and Cody Rhodes, it was a good match, but the post-match activity is what really sold it for me with Swagger and Del Rio, and then the supposed breaking of Ricardo Rodriguez's ankle, and we already heard the little foobar from Rick about that. Randy Orton and Sheamus defeating 3MB. Again, it was a squash match. Pretty much that's all 3MB is good for. But then the Shield comes out, and then the Big Show running as only the Big Show can run. It comes in and makes the save, and probably this is the way we're going to see Big Show being inserted into the six-man tag. Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston, great match, and the segment following it with Team Hell No challenging them, and Ziggler and Biggie Langston accepting, well, AJ accepting for them at WrestleMania, I thought was really good, because they really need to do something with the tag team titles. And the way they've been going with the past 2 weeks, with Ziggler defeating both members of Team Hell No, to me, was kind of a lead on and kind of expected. Wade Barrett retaining the Intercontinental title in the triple threat match with Chris Jericho and The Miz, to me, kind of shows a little bit of strength into the Intercontinental title, and it kind of makes it look good. Remember, it's not the title that makes the person good, it's the person that makes the title look good. And Wade Barrett really did make the title look good tonight. And then the finale with Triple H and Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. There were so many other stipulations it could have gone with, so many better ways that it could have gone with. No holds barred with, I was actually satisfied with. I thought that would have been just a great match to have an all-out no holds barred brawl between these two. But the fact of the matter is that they added in the Triple H's career being on the line. It just kind of brought it down for me. But I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4 out of 5. Rick, what about you? Your overall score and thoughts?
Well, I'm going to say there's a lot of squash matches. Like I said, the John Cena, the Ryback matches were squash matches. The Fandango segment, yeah, it's okay. What's the point? The Undertaker CM Punk segment, awesome. Jericho Fandango segment, excellent. Again, excellent. So I have to say, there were a couple of other squash matches. So it really just bringing Raw down. Raw's just doing a lot of squash matches, and they're happy with the squash matches. They just seem to be more happy with the post-match segments, and I think Raw's forgetting that it should be more about wrestling and not about the segments. They're getting away from that. Again, I'll go back to the Triple H Brock Lesnar segment. It was at a 3 when it was until they named what the segments were, and for me, it brought it down to a 2.5. So overall, I'll give it a 3, right down the middle, and that's giving it.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this week's Monday Night Raw review, we are introducing a brand new segment. It's called the WGS-TV Facebook page of the week. If you have a wrestling Facebook page that's deserving of a shout out right here on WGS-TV, you submit your Facebook pages to both me and Rick for official judging and shout outs. Rick, who is our very first winner and who gets the very first shout out on the WGS-TV Facebook page of the week? Rick?
Hold on, sorry about that.
Okay, Rick, again, who is the very first winner and gets a shout out for being the WGS-TV Facebook page of the week?
That will be Jeff Hardy, TNA Nation.
Be sure you guys check him out.
Yep.
Where can they check him out at?
That's the name of the page, Jeff Hardy, TNA Nation, and he's if you are a fan of the Jeff Hardy, he covers everything from wherever he was, of course, in TNA, but he also covers his WWE years, and it's a great fan page. Check him out.
So again, the very first winner of the WGS-TV Facebook page of the week goes to the Jeff Hardy TNA Nation Facebook page. Be sure that you check them out and tell them that you heard about it right here on WGS-TV. So what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Guys, the Illuminous One, the Shining Star Rick Star, is on Hardcore Wrestling Radio every Wednesday night on blogtalkradio.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. Rick, what you got coming up this week?
Well, this week, of course, Hardcore Wrestling Radio is going to be an hour late, as my good co-host, the son of a bitch, Andy, is his daylight savings is just going to be up a little bit late, so we decided to make a few adjustments for him. So we'll be coming on at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central Time. So that's what we're going to be doing that for the next, it's going to be the next couple of weeks, but that's 9 o'clock. So make sure for those of you who do come in, call in at 8 o'clock, make sure we won't be there. It'll be 9 o'clock p.m. Right now, we're going to be doing we're doing our own little Raw review covering Raw. We'll be also doing some, some TNA Impact reviews and, of course, all the latest news and rumors. So make sure you check us out.
And also, don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestlingGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So for the Illuminous One, the Shining Star Rick Star, I'm Double B Billy Bujo saying Fandango. No. Fanjango. No. Fandunghole. No. Fandildo?
Stone Concerts. Stone Concerts. Stone Concerts. Stone Concerts. Spiritual speaking. Stone Concerts. Stone Concerts. I'm Haley Ringrose. Stone Concerts.
My name's Andrew Weatherall.
Spiritual speaking. Stoke Concerts.